Chapter 3, Mishnah 3. The previous Mishnah taught the law for the Temurah of an Olah and the Temurah's offspring. It did not discuss the law for the offspring of the Olah itself. Although the Olah must be a male animal, if a female animal was consecrated as an Olah, it acquires Olah holiness, even though it can never be offered as an Olah. Our Mishnah now teaches the law for the offspring of a female Olah. If someone designated a male animal as an Olah, and it gave birth to a male, the male offspring should be left to graze until it develops a blemish, and it should then be sold, and the owner should buy another animal to bring as an Olah with the money. The offspring itself is not offered as an Olah because its holiness comes from its mother, and its mother was unfit for offering. Therefore, it too is unfit. Rabbi Elazar disagrees and says, if the offspring is a male and fit to be used as an Olah, the offspring itself should be offered as an Olah. Having taught the law for a female designated as an Olah, the Mishnah now teaches the law for a female designated as an Asham. An Asham, like an Olah, must be male. If someone designates a female animal as an Asham, it should be left to graze until it becomes blemished. And it should then be sold, and the owner should use the money to buy another animal to bring as an Asham. If the owner's Asham had already been offered by the time this animal became blemished and was sold, so that there is no longer a need to spend the money on another Asham, the money should be dropped into the chest in the Beis Hamikdash that is marked for voluntary communal offerings. Rabbi Shimon says, if someone designates a female animal as an Asham, it should be sold right away, even without a blemish. To this point, the chapter has discussed those korbanos whose Temurah and offspring are offered on the Mizbeach. The rest of this chapter discusses the korbanos whose Temurah and offspring are not offered on the Mizbeach. The first of these is the Asham. The law of the Asham is similar to the law of the Chatas, both of which are brought to atone for sins. We learned in chapter 2, Mishnah 2, that there are 5 cases in which the Chatas may not be offered, but must instead be left to die. One of these is the Temurah of a Chatas. The Mishnah now explains the rule for the Temurah of an Asham and its offspring. It cites 3 opinions. The Temurah of an Asham and the offspring of the Temurah and their offspring and the offspring of their offspring until the end of time cannot be offered as korbanos. Rather, they should be left to graze until they became blemished, and they should then be sold, and the money should be dropped in the chest in the Beis Hamikdash marked for voluntary communal offerings. The next 2 Tanaim agree that the Temurah of an Asham and its offspring cannot be offered as korbanos themselves, but they disagree with the previous Tana and with each other about what should be done with them. Rabbi Elazar says they should be left to die, and Rabbi Elazar says they are left to graze until they become blemished and can be sold, as the first Tana said. But the owner should then bring his own voluntary olah with the money, and not give the money to the fund for communal olos. The Mishnah continues with other examples of ashamos that cannot be offered. An asham whose owner died, and an asham whose owner already atoned for a sin with a different asham, should be left to graze until they become blemished, and they should then be sold, and the money should be dropped in the chest for voluntary communal offerings. But Rabbi Eliezer says they should be left to die. Rabbi Elazar says they should be left to graze until they become blemished and can be sold, as the Tanna Kama said, and the owner should then bring his own voluntary olos with the money, not communal ones.